I don't want to make personal enemies of people I don't know. There's a guy called Adam22. Once again, I have no idea who this man is. This is the level you can, but this is what the Matrix wants from you as a man. They want the woman in charge and the man below with no backbone, because if the woman's in charge, they can emotionally affect her. They can scare her. You can scare a woman easier than you can scare a man. A man. A real man's hard to scare.
There is something I want to highlight on this video. It is concerning this Adam22, I don't know, is going viral for just the wrong reasons. He started by allowing his wife, to go to bed with another man. He went viral and he was very proud of this action. Andrew Tate had a segment where they sat down, to really talk about this, with a lot of streamers. He highlighted some things very concerning to this situation. I don't know if you saw that video. I'm going to play it. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. And if possible, why not share this clip?
Really trying to convince me that I have made a very grave error, a massive mistake as a result of having let my wife shoot with another man. Myself personally, having been, a couple weeks removed from the actual incident happening, I don't really feel like I made a mistake. I was a little bit jealous at first. It's kind of a weird feeling knowing that your woman was in the arms of another man, even if it was only for a few hours. But it's interesting. You don't seem like you have as much of a real moral issue with the act itself.
Well, I can give you my opinion on why I wouldn't ever do it. And I think the reason I wouldn't ever do it is because I believe that a man and a woman have a connection between them, and I think that connection is solidified by sexual exclusivity from the female's part, and I believe there's an energy cord between. And I think that once that's broken with another man, I do believe there's a degree of the connection which is damaged. And I think that when the relationship is good, perhaps you will not feel it, but when the relationship is bad, or when arguments start to happen, or you start to get on each other's nerves, you might notice a slight difference in behavior, because I do also think that once the seal has been broken, I'll give you an example. The 4-minute mile was impossible to achieve, they believed, until one man ran the 4-minute mile, and then a bunch of people ran the 4-minute mile. So once the seal's been broken, for example, let's say your wife's sleeping with another man, the idea of sleeping with another man is not as intimidating as it once was. And perhaps the idea of sitting through an argument or sitting through a rough patch in a relationship and continuing to try to work it out, as opposed to just jumping on a new man, it might be less appealing than it once was previously. So I believe, personally, if my woman had already slept with another man, she's more likely to just give up on the relationship and sleep with another man again in a rough patch. That's my personal view.
Facts, chat.
No.
Say again?
Why would I mean, I've never cheated on you, even in the lowest terms of cheating, responding to a DM from somebody or anything. I've never done any of that. Everything in our relationship has been out in the open. All my messages with the person that I worked with, I was like, hey, just so you know, these are the messages. And Adam has about 200 women in front of me, and he cheated on me. So Adam, that's terrible.
So I do want to extend an invite that if you were ever interested in doing your first ever scene, that me and Lena, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like,
dude,
would he be a suitable candidate?
Andrew Tate,
can I tap him in?
I don't know. No.
There's absolutely 0% chance of that happening. And it's not because Lena is particularly unattractive. It's because she's married to Adam, and I have no interest in degenerate, pointless sex, and I have no interest in making a spectacle of myself, or even just involving myself in anything which I deem to be overall haram and pointless. It's just not something I'd be interested in. There's not a single amount of money on the planet you could pay me to undertake. So I find this very uncomfortable to talk about. There's not many things I find uncomfortable, but I just find this uncomfortable to talk about. And the reason is not because, I'm an adult. I know what sex is. Of course, I've lived a very varied life. I just feel like, I don't know. We have so many people watching us, and we're just talking about. I think this is below us. I don't know. We're all pretty intelligent people. We talk about the Matrix and how they're trying to dumb us all down and trying to control all of our minds. And this base instinct talk, I find it very uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable being on this stream. If I was sitting with a woman next to me, the last thing I would talk about is our personal life. I just don't think it's the smart thing to do. And I don't think that it is, I don't have any interest in the personal sex life of any married couple, and I don't want to hear about it, and I don't want to talk about it. And I just find it very uncomfortable. I'm extremely uncomfortable in this situation. That's the truth. And I'm not saying that from a position of weakness. I'm saying it from a position of strength. I don't like talking about these things. I don't like talking about women getting I don't like talking about what I do with women. I don't like talking about any of it. I think that what I do in the bedroom with a woman who I care about should be to a degree sacred. Private, yeah. And I think it should be completely private. Absolutely. And I don't want to hear about anyone else. I want to make something clear to the I don't watch I've never bought an OnlyFans. I've never paid for sex. My relationship with sex involves love, and I don't think it should happen outside of love. And I think that's the way that sex should operate. And I think that when you decide, and once again, I could be wrong, when you decide to keep sex exclusively for love, there's something beautiful and special about it. And if you decide not to do that, then you keep chasing a new high. And you can have threesomes and a bunch of girls. And I'm not saying I haven't done it, but eventually you're constantly just chasing a new high and you end up just doing something weird.
Yes, this is Andrew Tate. I understand a lot of people, don't listen to what he says. But this is actually concerning, him addressing the situation in a very smart and beautiful way. I always say this, there are people I disagree with, but sometimes, I pick up what they say. I've seen recently how some conservatives like Ben Shapiro, you know, Michael Knowles, even Jordan Peterson, going off on Andrew Tate. It wasn't happening like that before, but recently, I don't know what happened. They took up that decision to actually go against him, partake into some of his things, his past. I don't want to go there. I was just concerned with this situation here. Just imagine someone sitting with you, you know, talking about these kind of things, feeling comfortable, you know, bringing in another woman in front of your wife, somebody you call your wife. She said it here about 100 women, and she has never cheated. Now allow the wife for the first time to go and shoot, you know, a hot movie with another man, and he will enjoy the video watching. At a certain point, when I look at this, I was like, maybe this is staged because I saw another video, on Twitter where he gave the so-called wife a new car worth about $400,000, to congratulate her, for standing up to do that on cameras. This is so, I don't know, a very controversial YouTuber, like I can say. I have never seen something like this before. What type of life are you really living? What kind of standard are you setting for people to follow? Because someone like this is having followers, people that are standing really watching him. What education are you passing on to young people? That is a question that triggered my mind. Because when you are on social media, if you have 10 followers, you need to play a role, to either educate someone in a different way. It's just to inform. This is insane to see someone really doing this. I saw on that video giving that card to the wife. People saying this is stage. It might be true, but it get me so annoyed, you know, to see how a woman has been degraded to this level. Then you call this love. This should not be happening.